Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Phillips of Keller Williams Realty Center, owner of SellingHomesFast.net, where your next home is only a click away. Today, we're here with Marianne Long of Caliver Beach Mortgage. Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Marianne Long, and I am with Caliver Beach Mortgage. It's an incredible brokerage, so it gives me the opportunity to shop at different loans and programs that are available to all people out there. So we're finding not just a loan program, but we're exploring all the different ones and the rates so that we can make sure that I am putting you in the proper program. I've been in the industry for over 25 years, and I love helping people to purchase a home.
25 years. That's a really long time. I've seen a lot.
Sure
So,
have.
we have a list of questions here brought to fans off of Facebook. They have questions for lenders such as yourself, and I'm going to just jump right into it. Hannah from
Excellent.
Reisterstown here asks, as a millennial with bad credit, what can me and my husband do to get our first home?
All right, Hannah, I love this question, and I think it's really important that we take the time to review your credit and get you prepped and in the position to be able to buy a house. I think that in the past, people give credit out very easily and very quickly, but they don't teach them how to use it responsibly and how to get themselves set up and ready to be able to have a large home purchase where all of those previous debts are very, very important because they have a direct impact on your debt to income ratio, your credit score, and things like that. So the first thing I would say is don't be discouraged and don't be embarrassed. Honestly, in the long run, everybody's been there, and if they haven't, well, they're very, very, very lucky. But I am happy to sit down and Hannah, I would look over your credit. I would like see what we should take care of first. We will review your budget. We'll figure out what the highest interest rates are, how we can reduce to put you in the best position, and we're going to be patient. And we're going to do the proper things to get your credit to be in the right position so that you can buy a house in the future that's within your budget and makes you, comfortable with the monthly payment that you're going to be having. So.
Oh my God, yes, it's so important. I've seen a lot of cases where people think that their max is where they have to sit at and they gotta pay that hefty bill, but you gotta really look at what month to month you're comfortable with as longevity. You don't want to be what they refer to as house poor.
Oh my gosh, Joe, you're so right. And honestly, it's one of the things that, I've seen people before and they're like, all right, well, if I make this much money and I have this debt, then I can afford this and this monthly payment. But we haven't really examined and explored all of the other things that are a part of your life and your everyday expenses. It's not going to tell me your car insurance. It's not going to tell me your cell phone bill. It's not going to tell me gas and electric. It's not going to tell me that you have, a Nike obsession and you buy the new Nikes that come out and you like to go on vacation. So it's like really important that we explore your lifestyle, your expenses. That's why it's so important that we really review and do a true, approval so that way I have the opportunity to look over your bank statements and your bills and things like that so that we can prep you and get you in the position to have a comfortable payment. Because it doesn't matter what it says on the paper. If the paper says that you can afford $4,000 a month, but the thought of putting your head on the pillow at night with a $4,000 a month payment makes you nauseous and you're not going to be able to sleep, then we haven't helped you or put you in the best situation. So.
That's an excellent point. It really is. Um, our next question here comes from Sheila from Towson. Her and her sister Barb are both seniors in their 70s. They're ready to let go of their family's home. Are there any programs out there for them?
So there's a lot of different programs. So depending on like if Sheila and Barb, if they wanted to already maybe purchase a house now prior to selling their current house. We could look into the loan program like a reverse mortgage where we're really setting, well, not a reverse, I'm so sorry, a bridge loan so that we could make sure that they could borrow and then that way they can purchase the house now and then that way when they sell their house then they can put that money towards their principal and then reduce that payment. But if they're looking for down payment money, grants, anything like that, as long as their credit score, their debt to income ratio, and their income meet the qualifications, a lot more people qualify for a lot of programs out there more than they realize. A lot of times, a lot of times people see things like, oh, I'm not a first time home buyer. Well, there's different. The term first time home buyer is thrown out there quite a bit sometimes. And first time home buyer, when it comes to the state of Maryland and the tax benefit that you can get for the one and only time you're a first time home buyer, has to do with the transfer tax. It has nothing to do with loan programs and grants per se. So there's a lot of grant programs that if you haven't owned another home for 3 years. Do you know what I mean? If you haven't
Yeah,
done one for 5 years, and every program's going to have different like stipulations and guidelines and things that we have to adhere to. But there's so many opportunities. So
absolutely. And it differs from county to county and city to
it
city and
sure
state to
does.
state.
And
You
some
got
of
to
them you don't
check
even have
with
to be a
them.
first time home buyer. Sometimes you could have been in a certain field. You could have been in nursing. Like there's a lot of hometown hero programs out there that really rewards people that maybe didn't make as much money in some of their careers and really thanks them and gives back for the people who were first responders or in education, nursing, like any of those types of fields. There's a lot of different things out there that we can always explore.
It is
So
a great program, and we here at sellinghomesfast.net do honor the Hometown Heroes Advantage, and we work with
yeah,
many reputable companies that can help offer special financing for Zet heroes, teachers, educators, law enforcement, firefighters, medical professionals. And it doesn't just extend to doctors and nurses and EMS, it actually does include your dentist as well.
it does.
And you know what? This goes
Even
off
like
to
I'm going to tell you when it comes to the school system, if you're hired by the school system, you don't have to be the teacher. You could have been in the lunchroom. You could have been helping to keep the school clean, the janitorial services. It's who you're paid for and by. I've had a lot of people that were volunteer firefighters that can get programs. So there's a lot out there without you having to reach different levels and statuses. These programs really reward all of them and recognize that to make everything work, we all have to work together. So,
thank you. That's a wonderful thought and statement. So our next question here comes from Isaac from Laurel. He asked, how much of a down payment would I need for a VA home loan?
all right. So, you actually don't have to have a down payment for a VA loan. Um, So, and you do have the opportunity to get 100% closing cost if you were to ask for it from the seller. In the event that the house, for appraised value, we could always roll in closing cost into it as long as it appraises. There's lots of different ways for us to have a veteran get into a house with no money, truthfully, down. That doesn't mean that you don't have to make a earnest money deposit. And I know Joe would go over that with you. That's just good faith and proceeding. But at the closing table, then you would receive that money back at the table in the event that we were doing a zero down program. So.
So our last question here comes from Rihanna from Annapolis. She says that she is sick of this state and she wants to move to Miami. What can you do to help?
You said as Rihanna? Rihanna,
Yeah,
I
Rihanna.
totally, I totally understand. I was tired of living in Maryland. I love Maryland. I will tell you, I miss orange crushes and steamed crabs. I'm very excited about watching Derrick Henry play in about a week because he's my absolute favorite player. Um, but I was tired of the cold weather and a lot of the traffic. And I just felt it was very congested for me. So I wanted to move south. I love warm weather. I try to be tan year round when and if possible. And so I myself have made the relocation. The importance of making relocation is that we explore and examine absolutely everything in the new area that you're going to be living. So if you were considering moving to Miami specifically, we're going to look at the taxes there. We're going to look at what type of insurance is going to be necessary for those houses. Because as you know, up in Maryland, we don't really require hurricane insurance. We don't require like flood in a lot of areas. There is some, but there's a lot of things that are different down there. The age of the roof down there is very, very important because of the wind and things like that. So we're really going to look at those types of budget, what your income's going to be. And we're pretty lucky because with a lot of the investors that we work with, even if you haven't started your job yet, we could get you a loan based off of your job offer letter. We could see if you're working remotely and how that can work. But the process really does begin the same as with all loans. So we're going to do a true pre-approval, right? We're not going to do a pre-qualification where you just tell me, oh, I have this debt and I make this much money. I'm really going to look over everything. I'm going to look at your bank statements. I'm going to see what's coming in. I'm going to see what's going out. I'm going to explore your credit report. And then we're going to have a really in-depth conversation about your lifestyle and your budget and is the house a fixer-upper? Do we need to make sure you hold aside this much money in case you have to do these future like projects? Are you putting money aside for savings, retirement, all of these different things that don't show up on that credit report? And then that way we can get you prepped and ready so that you can, have all the sunshine. So,
Wonderful. And you know what? Such a great point with everything you just went over. It just proves the point that our due diligence in this industry of real estate starts way before anyone signs any type of agreement, that we go over the things that specifically tailor to you and your move. For example, up here, we have movers in place to get you nationally, internationally, if you need to sell your assets or get rid of your stuff. You know, we have people and stuff in place to make sure your move is as seamless as possible.
absolutely. I always tell everybody when they work with me, I mean, you and we are clients that have worked together in the past. I told them, I was like, once you work with me, you're stuck with me forever, right? You're basically family. And I mean it. And I want you to trust us. We are the experts in the industry. We're doing this every single day. We know what to look for. We are staying on top of all the trends and changes. We are consistently getting, new education on any modifications and things like that. Most people buy one, maybe a couple houses a year. But we're doing this every single day. And so we want to be your resource. We want to be your go-to person just to make sure that we're safeguarding you and making sure that you are set up for success, not just in the loan process and with you, the buying process or selling process, but we want to make sure that, that if anything changes or is modified in your life, that you trust us. And know that, if a piece of mail comes and you're unsure if it's, a scam or not, that you can send it over and we're going to look at it and say, you're good, or put that in the trash. You know what I mean? Like shred that up. We want you to get, not just to buy a house, we want you to have a home and create memories and, a lifetime of, wonderful experiences and stuff. And we're really fortunate that we get to be a part of that chapter in everybody's lives. So that's why, it's really important that we really do listen to what your needs, wants, budgets, whatever it is, because we want you to know that we're here to advocate and do and act on your best behalf. So,
It's a powerful statement. Thank you, Marianne.
yeah, absolutely.
So, where can people follow you? Where can we find
All
you at?
right. So I'm on all of the social media handles. So I post every single day, helpful hints, different things like that on my Facebook account and my Instagram. I do different little quick blips on my TikTok. You can see my entire job history and experience on my marianne.zipforhome.com. And if anybody is looking to just see what their credit is and where they're at, they can complete that, and then they can just have a quick, like, free review. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
no obligation, but it really sets you up for success so that you know where you stand with everything. So.
All right. And if anyone out there is watching this right now and has questions about their credit or what they can be approved for, just comment the word Marianne. I'll get you a link to that right away. I'm Joe Phillips. I'm a realtor here with Keller Williams Realty Center, owner of sellinghomesfast.net, where your next home is only a click away. It was great seeing all of you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either of us at any time. Happy house hunting.
Bye, all.